Hi there, my name's Paul Jenkins and I'm a product designer at Gray-Nicolls. Just here today to talk to you a little bit about the Ultimate 360 Pro helmet. This is off the back of a comment from one of our Twitter followers, Gazolina, who's noticed some of our Australian ambassadors such as Finch and Stoinis wearing this for Australia in the T20 World Cup. Well, it's not quite this, obviously theirs is a nice green colour. I can only find a blue one in my samples to talk to you about, but we'll skim past that. And basically then Gazo's comment were essentially about the fact that he's noticed a difference in the grille configuration, which is unique to the Gray-Nicolls helmet. I'll touch upon that later, but in the first instance, just wanted to give you a more general overview of the helmet. So starting off with the shell itself, it's a shell which is native to all the adult helmets in the Gray-Nicolls collection, so you're guaranteed consistent performance throughout. The actual material composition of the helmet is such that it's a composite design. What that means is those materials are laminated together to give you as much protection as possible. So on the outside, we have a tough ABS shell. What that means is that it's able to deflect most of those faster ball strikes. That's then backed up by a softer molded EPS liner. That means that the energy on impact is distributed around the head in order that trauma isn't focused on any one area too much. That then finally has a softer foam comfort liner, which is covered with a moisture wicking fabric. Basically that means it's very comfortable to wear, and it's also great from a sweat absorption point of view, so that during those long sessions at the crease, well, not if you're necessarily playing T20 cricket, but certainly in hot conditions and with the longer format test game, that's going to keep you as comfortable as possible when batting for long periods or in, again, hot conditions. The EPS liner that I mentioned earlier actually has interflow vent channels molded into it. So what that means is that these vents are able to take air and redistribute that around the wearer's head. So again, making sure we're keeping the wearer's head as cool as possible and maximising their comfort at the crease. So the final area of the shell that I wanted to talk to you about is the reinforced and contoured peak. It's an area of the shell which is really important from a safety point of view. As you can imagine, when you're playing the game, you're staring that ball down. So it's an area of the helmet which is highly likely to come into contact with the ball, and it needs to be as safe as possible. What we've done here then is reinforce the peak so that any ball strike is highly unlikely to damage it, thus protecting the wearer as much as possible. The contoured nature of it though is incredibly important from a user safety point of view. Basically what that means is when the ball is travelling towards the wearer, it's highly unlikely that it's going to strike the forehead or the temples square on because of the contoured nature. It's there to deflect the ball, which means that energy again is absorbed and redistributed, making sure that the wearer is as safe as possible from what can be some of the more dangerous deliveries in cricket. So, moving on to the grille itself to address Gazo's direct question about its configuration. With the Ultimate 360 Pro, what you've got here is a titanium grille. So properties of titanium are incredibly lightweight and incredibly strong. So great confidence and also great comfort at the crease. As you can see, the grille itself offers protection from the front, as you would expect, which carries on round the side, encompassing the ear and the jaw for unrivaled coverage and protection, culminating in these wings at the back. Now, these wings are the area that Gazo has specifically noticed, and it's an area that we're incredibly proud of at Gray-Nicolls, a design which is unique on the market. Now, these are obviously configured from the same titanium, so incredibly strong, incredibly lightweight. They're also contoured so that they fit the user's head very comfortably and don't get in the way when they're in their batting stance. Because they're welded on, that gives fantastic peace of mind. They're not likely to break or to lever or to hinge. And also because they're not something which is detachable, then that means that they're not going to move around, as opposed to something which potentially could be loose depending on how well the wearer has affixed that to the helmet. The fact that it's so open in its design also means that it is brilliant from an airflow point of view. So once again, the Gray-Nicolls helmet's just making sure they're as cool as possible, allowing airflow to keep you as comfortable as possible at the crease. The design itself is very closed, so what that means is that a ball strike is unlikely to penetrate the apex of the ball, can't get through that to impact upon the wearer's neck or head. So making sure they're as comfortable as possible and as protected as possible with a ball which is going to deflect off and stay away from those vulnerable areas. So yeah, that's the Ultimate 360 Pro helmet. If any of you have any further questions about the Gray-Nicolls range, then get in touch and we'll do our best to answer. Thanks for watching.